Maybe this wasn't a good idea doing this outside. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! Today we're going to be talking about increasing your wealth, and this is wealth that has nothing to do with even moving a single dollar. This is an easy way for you to become more affluent without having to worry about a budget or anything else. If you're new here, my name is michelepaiva. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and I focus on finance therapy. My goal is to help you raise your self-worth and your net worth. Now, there's different ways for you to maneuver through high society or even through different general circles in your own county, region, or city. And for the most part, they take no additional income from you and it's super fun. And that is becoming more appreciative of the arts. The arts are therapeutic unto themselves. So many psychologists, many therapists have utilized poetry, dance, music, even fine arts in order to help individuals through stressful times or really dicey past experiences. So the arts unto themselves are incredibly healing. When you get involved in the arts, it's great because it gives you a reason to dress up. A lot of us have, especially during the pandemic, closets full of clothing that we have not been able to enjoy. So getting more involved in the arts is a great way to bring out some of those dressy clothes and put them to use. When you are involved in the arts, you can communicate with yourself as well as communicate with others in ways that are very subtle and also sometimes very direct. I'll get into that in a little bit. One of the reasons that I really want you to get involved in the arts is because you will start to have more affluent conversations. And by affluent conversations, I don't necessarily mean about money or finance, although those kind of conversations might come up and you'll be very equipped to handle them. However, what I'm talking about is an affluent energy. So it's not an energy where people are going to be standing around talking about how mad they are at their ex or how the government's so wrong or whatever. They're going to be talking about the highlights of something they just experienced or are experiencing if it's an art opening where it's very positive. And it's a way for people to gather together to celebrate the arts and celebrate what the arts brings out in them, and they want to know what it brings out in you. So this is a great way for you to break into conversations that is very comfortable and very enjoyable. And you don't have to feel insecure if you're having conversations with someone who you feel is much more wealthy than you are, because these people want to have conversations with everyone. They want to know that their investment is being appreciated. And so when you're having conversations with these individuals and you're really talking about how beautiful the arts are, whether it is something that has to do with music or fine art, sculpture, poetry, whatever it is that they might be investing in, you can help them in a way that no one else can. You can help them know that you appreciate what you've been experiencing. And that is going to create a bond between you and that person who might have more affluence. Traditionally, people that have affluence who are connecting to other people who have a similar interest really take those other people into their world. And I'm not saying that every person who is affluent is a great, wonderful person, but traditionally you will find at these types of events that are arts focused, you're going to find a lot of really kind-hearted individuals who want other people to be very happy. Now there's 3 different types of people that you will find at any type of an art event, whether you're going to an opera, whether you're going to an opening night gala, whether you are looking at a gallery. There's 3 types of people that you will probably run into at these events. Number 1 are the patrons. These are the people who are investing in the artist or in the space that the arts are happening. These people tend to be very wealthy. They tend to be the backbone of the art community, and they also tend to be very heavily emotionally invested in what's happening, including your experience. These are the people that keep the arts alive. Also, you have the artists. That makes sense, right? So the artists are the people with the talent and the skill. These people tend to be very fascinating to the wealthy. So the wealthy might have been spending a lot of time gathering income, or maybe they have a trust fund, and these people have been maybe removed from dedicating their entire life to the arts. A lot of times you will find people that are patrons of the arts, the people keeping the arts alive, have their own talent and their own skill set in what they are investing in. So they might love to play the piano, but they know that they have not dedicated their whole life to being in a concert, but they will definitely honor someone who has done that, and they will support that person. So these are people that also tend to not have a lot of jealousy. They want to raise other people up. And again, you're going to really enjoy that about both the artist and the patrons. Most people are going to be the appreciating individuals. So if you're an appreciator, that means you go to the arts, you enjoy it, you watch, you enjoy the talent, and you honor the fact that someone has been able to either fund the artist or fund the space that you're in. All three of you need each other. So when you go to an arts event, I don't want you to feel insecure, even if you were in a free seat or if you were in a $10 seat, it doesn't matter, because the arts need people to be the appreciative individuals in the event. So they need people like you who may be going to an event, who might not have a lot of money, but maybe you're going to post about it. Maybe you're going to tell your friends about it. Maybe you're just going to allow people to know that you are taking part in these events, and this is very important. So to keep the arts alive, we need to have the fans, we need to have the people that support the artists, and of course, we need the artists. But what if you're someone who doesn't really love the arts? What if you don't like the opera? What if you don't like going to concerts? What if you've never done these things and you feel very uncomfortable with it? That happens with a lot of people. But first, let's go back to something that you might feel more comfortable with. So say you're a teenager and it was the 70s, 80s, 90s, and you're very, very comfortable with a certain type of music, whether it be pop or country, whatever. So when you hear it now, you feel like it's very familiar, and you have fond memories of your childhood or your teen years hearing that type of music. There's a familiarity to that, and there's a whole idea or a whole concept around what that music means to you. So there's an emotional connection. You can develop that with anything. So when I first started getting involved in opera, I was in my 20s, but I was someone who just decided that, hey, opera looks interesting and different, I should do it. I now live in Philadelphia. At the time I did, and I thought, well, this is great. I could walk to the opera house. So what I did was I started listening to recordings of opera music. And so when you listen to recordings of something, you become more and more familiar with it. Now, at the time, there wasn't a lot of Google happening, so I actually had to go to the library and read up on the operas. So I read up on a particular opera, what was happening in the opera, what it meant. I listened to the music over and over, and then when I physically went to the opera, I was prepared. When I went to go get a drink or a little snack, I could have intelligent, comfortable, confident conversations with the other individuals who were at the opera because I had done my homework. I had done some research. And remember, for some people, they will not have been doing their homework, and this will be very new to them. And you can actually say, hey, I've done some homework on it, I'm new, this is what I learned, and you'll be the one teaching them. It's okay for you to rub elbows with other people who are appreciating the arts as well. Remember that the arts are all about communication. And earlier I was talking about how therapists use the arts as a way to communicate. So for instance, if I was using in the past art therapy with a client, I was helping the client to excavate their own feelings through something that was very passive and something that was very organic, and I was able to have very comfortable conversations because I wasn't just honing in on what was happening with them, but just talking about their artwork. And in that gave them a comfortable springboard in which to really talk about more of what they were going through and more about what they saw in their artwork and also what I saw in their artwork as well. So when you have any kind of an art, whether it is crayons or opera or whatever, you're going to have more communication with yourself because you're going to look at, well, how does this affect me? So when you are involved in the arts, not only does it help you to get more in touch with yourself and dig into what you're feeling, but you can have conversations with other people and find out what they're feeling. How did something affect them? These are beautiful ways to enjoy the arts, and these are the affluent conversations. Because nowhere did I say in any of this that you're going to ask someone about the beautiful oil painting on the wall and they're going to start telling you about how they can't stand their mother-in-law or ex-boyfriend or whatever. Instead, they're going to be talking about how the colors affect them. You're probably going to have more philosophical conversations that are not about the day-to-day, because the arts are all about not only communication, but also about lifting us out of what we think of is the present moment. The arts have a way of evening out the playing field because we stop becoming what we make or what we've saved, and we start becoming individuals who are touched by something that we all have something in common with. So for instance, you could be standing next to a multimillionaire and an artist, and you're all going to have a very beautiful rendition of the art piece in front of you. You're all going to come from a different place, and it's going to be very beautiful. So what are some areas, and how might you get into these different areas? So you might look at opera, you might look at dance, you might look at theater, you might look at an orchestra. You might even look at architecture and archaeology, because both of them have components of the arts in them as well. Poetry, literature, even being part of a book club that is based upon a classic is a way for you to get involved in the arts. Information is below about the art soiree, which is free for you to sign up to. We're going to start a program. It is 100% free, and it's really enjoyable. So based on that, I have another video for you, and I would love for you to let me know what are your favorite arts. Comment below. What are your favorite movies, books? Write down below what your favorite arts are. When you get more involved in the arts as a part of your life, you will be up-leveling yourself without spending a dime. When you get involved in the arts, you will be adding different types of conversation, affluent conversations. You will begin to feel more comfortable, more self-aware, and more connected to other people in other areas of life that you thought you might never get connected to. And as you begin up-leveling your circles and they become more positive and more welcoming and respectful of you and what you feel, you're going to start behaving and feeling in a different way that is going to help you become more affluent, more wealthy, and probably help your budget. I have another video for you.